Breaking news out of the White House. This proves it. Michael Cantrell, America's Freedom Fighters. It seems like whenever you talk about Washington, D.C., one thing that constantly comes up is the idea of shortage. There's always a shortage of cash, shortage of personnel, and on it goes. Want to know the one thing there is no shortage of in Washington? Corruption. That flows down the halls of Congress in a never-ending supply. A great example of the kind of indecency that runs rampant on both sides of the political spectrum is how Democrats and even a Republican or two used a dossier put together on then presidential candidate Donald Trump back in 2016 to try ending his campaign for the White House. A man is coming out of the shadows now, saying he acted as a go-between to keep Senator John McCain informed about the dossier, discussing how the ex-British spy who helped put the dossier together worked with others to coordinate the documents released to the FBI, Capitol Hill, and the media. My mission was essentially to be a go-between and a messenger, to tell the senator and assistants that such a dossier existed, Sir Andrew Wood told Fox News in an exclusive interview with senior executive producer Pamela K. Brown. Fox News spoke to Wood at the 2017 Halifax International Security Forum in Nova Scotia, Canada. As Britain's ambassador to Moscow from 1995 to 2000, Wood witnessed the end of Russian President Boris Yeltsin and the rise of Vladimir Putin. Just after the U.S. presidential election in November 2016, Arizona GOP Senator McCain spoke at the same security conference. Wood says he was instructed, by former British spy Christopher Steele, to reach out to the senior Republican, whom Wood called a good man, about the unverified document. Wood insists that he's never read the dossier that his good friend and longtime colleague prepared. It was commissioned by opposition research firm Fusion GPS and funded by the Democratic National Committee and the Hillary Clinton campaign. Wood stated that in August of 2016, Steele came to me to tell me what was in it, and why it was important, Wood said. He made it very clear, yes, it was raw intelligence, but it needed putting into proper context before you could judge it fully. August of last year has time and again come up as an important month, seeing as how that was when the FBI began probing into possible collusion with Russia and Trump, which still hasn't produced any fruit, and was when former FBI Director James Comey announced there would be no prosecution for Hillary over her mishandling of classified information via private email server. Court records from Britain indicate that Steele was paid a hefty sum of $168,000 by Fusion GPS founder Glenn Simpson to take the research about Trump and give it to 5 American media outlets, which turned out to be the New York Times, The Washington Post, CNN, New Yorker, and Yahoo News. As far as Senator McCain's involvement in this fiasco, it turns out McCain ordered one of his staffers, David J. Kramer, to get a personal briefing from Steele in Surrey. Once he returned to Washington, Fusion GPS would provide McCain with hard copies of the dossier. This past January is when McCain gave the dossier to the FBI, who already had a copy of their own from Steele. The bottom line is this dossier was created for the sole purpose of destroying Trump so that Hillary could win the election. It's a dirty, underhanded attempt to nullify the voice of the people, voting, and manipulate them into choosing yet another progressive leader who will implement failed policies with the sole purpose of making America a socialist country.